Yo, my guy, your woman cannot be your peace and she cannot bring you peace. Okay. I know that sounds harsh, especially when every Instagram post tells you to find a woman who brings you peace. Here's what I'm going to show you why expecting her to be your peace is exactly what's killing your attraction. Why men who chase peaceful women end up in chaotic marriages, and why men who have internal peace are the ones getting weekly, enthusiastic blowjobs. You've been told to find a woman who brings you peace, a woman who's low drama, a woman who calms you down after a hard day. And I know this is going to piss you off. Good. You should be questioning this because for years you've been looking outside of yourself for something that can only come from within. And what has that gotten you? A wife you blame for your stress, a marriage where you're constantly upset, blowjobs that happen maybe quarterly if you're lucky. Maybe, just maybe, the problem isn't that she's not peaceful enough, it's that you're at war with yourself. You're a high caliber husband, you're making $200,000 a year or more, you're an engineer executive or maybe an entrepreneur. You're successful by every measure, but when you come home, you're stressed, irritable, and on edge, and you blame her. You're supposed to be my peace. Why can't you just be calm? Other men have peaceful wives. Why is mine so dramatic? Meanwhile, she's giving you blowjobs maybe 3 to 4 times in a good year. Sex feels like an obligation. There's tension in the house, but you can't quite name it. And deep down, you know something's off. My name is AD the Kingmaker, and I help high caliber husbands get enthusiastic blowjobs from their wife on a weekly basis without begging, without doing more chores around the house, and without feeling emasculated along the way. I'll show you how to get her jumping on her drawers the same way she did during the honeymoon phase. Our work is not done until your wife is coming to you on a weekly basis, offering you more blowjobs. If that's something you're interested in, then subscribe to my page for more content like this. By the way, new episodes are released every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Central. So again, be sure to subscribe and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss any of this heat. I'm giving out the best game on the internet, bar none. And I'm really the only one out here looking out for husbands, okay? There's not a lot of guys coming out here making content specifically for husbands. So maybe you're thinking, but I work hard all day. Shouldn't I be able to come home to a peaceful wife? Or maybe you believe a good wife is supposed to create a calm environment for you. Maybe you think feminine energy is supposed to balance out your masculine stress. Maybe someone told you to find a woman who's low drama and brings peace to your life. So you've been looking for her to be your peace. You expect her to know how to calm you down without being told. You expect for her to read your mood and respond perfectly. You expect her to absorb your stress and give you tranquility in return. And when she doesn't, you get frustrated. You think this isn't what I signed up for. She's supposed to make my life easier, not harder. So you withdraw. You get irritable. You blame her for the chaos in your life, and nothing gets better. The tension's increasing, the attraction is decreasing, which means the blowjobs are non-existent, okay? Here's the truth, and this is contrary to popular belief. Your woman cannot be your peace, nor can she bring you peace, because peace is an internal job. Let me give you the definition of peace. It is freedom from disturbance. Another word for peace is tranquility, and your biggest disturbance is yourself. You get in the way of your own tranquility. I've coached so many men, and the most common pattern I see is this. They have some conversation or conflict with their woman. She says something. He feels sad. He feels hurt, but he is not emotionally intelligent. He doesn't understand that he feels sad. So he jumps to anger because anger is the most acceptable emotion for a man to show publicly. He misunderstands his feelings, shouts, screams, and belittles her. And then she gives him that same exact energy back because your woman is a mirror. Whatever energy you give her is exactly what she'll give back to you times 10. I'll make another video on that topic later because it's incredibly important. And then he gets upset and says, you're supposed to be my peace. No, dummy. You're supposed to have your own peace internally. Here's the reality. She can add to your peace, but she's also always going to add chaos because women have chaos within them inherently. They are chaotic by nature. So your lack of peace comes from your misunderstanding of your own emotions, your inability to handle problems, and your unwillingness to grow, your unwillingness to take accountability for your actions, your reactions, and the quality of your relationships. If you are at war within yourself, there is nothing anyone is going to do to bring you peace on a long-term basis. Here's the uncomfortable truth. I'm just going to come out and say it. Most men hate themselves. At the very least, they are not too fond of themselves. They think very lowly of themselves. They speak to themselves with such a negative choice of words. They've let modern women and modern programming give them a distorted view of themselves and their masculinity. They believe in stupid shit like toxic masculinity. They believe they're supposed to give their woman the world. They believe they're supposed to be broke, busted, and disgusted. And as long as their women and children are all right, then that's good with them. No, dummy. You're supposed to love yourself and take care of yourself the same way you take care of your woman and your children. You are the most important person in your household, no one else. Because if you go down, everyone goes down. You set the tone for your family. I'm going off script. Let's say you have an army and I have an army. I don't even necessarily care about you. I just want to hurt your wife and your children. Well, all I have to do is get you out of the way and I can now harm them. That is why I say you are the most important person in your household. If you go down, the ship goes down with you. So you're so busy trying to take care of all the passengers. It's like, no, bro, take care of the captain, okay? The better of a captain that your passengers have, the safer the voyage. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, most men say they want their women to bring them peace the same way she would walk in and bring you some pizza. Peace is not an external thing. It's an internal thing. And until you take the time to truly get to know yourself, love yourself, value yourself, and be honest with yourself, you will never have true peace. But AD, aren't there women who are just naturally more peaceful and calm? I would argue absolutely. There are women who are more peaceful and more calm. However, if you're at war with yourself, she's going to reflect that back to you. That peaceful woman will be peaceful for the next man, but she will not be peaceful for you. In other words, the unrest that you have will create unrest within her. You're going to have a problem on your hands and you're going to swear it's because of her, when in reality, it's because of you. But isn't part of a woman's role to create a peaceful home? Don't men need feminine energy to balance masculine stress? There's absolutely benefit to having feminine energy from your woman. But you have to understand, femininity is chaotic by nature. Men value peace more than women do. If we could just be cool, calm, collected, and peaceful all day, we'd settle for that. But women need to feel the full range of emotions. They need to feel happy and sad, bad and glad, joyous and depressed, anxious and stressed, everything in between. Chaos in terms of femininity is just the changing between one emotion to the next. They must feel all their feelings. They need that. This is another reason why I say they can't be your peace. You bring the peace. You are the calm to her storm. At least this is how it is most of the time. You help her learn to be more peaceful over time. She learns through your example, which means you must still cultivate peace within first. But aren't you supposed to come home to a wife who helps you relax you after a hard day? The only way you come home to a wife who relaxes and de-stresses you after a hard day is if you train your wife to do so. Your woman isn't supposed to do anything other than what you train her to do. Men somehow have this unrealistic expectation that women should just come standard knowing how to treat them, even though she's never dealt with a man like you before. Every man is an individual. You must train her to get the results out of her that you want. If you go to a new job at a new company in a new role you've never been in before, wouldn't you say it makes sense that they give you some sort of training first? How in the world would they expect you to do a job you've never done with no training? That's exactly how your wife feels. Here's the real issue. It doesn't matter how low her drama is if you are the dramatic and problematic one. Your absolute best case scenario is you're a problematic and dramatic person and you meet a woman who is low drama and peaceful. She's not going to entertain you because she understands you're going to bring chaos to her life. And here's what matters most. Your wife is not going to want to continuously give blowjobs to a man who is moodier than she is. That is unattractive. And remember, when your wife is highly sexually attracted to you, it makes everything easier. When she is not highly sexually attracted to you, it makes everything harder. So here's what actually works. Step 1, build internal peace first. Peace is not the absence of emotion. I'm not telling you to be cold or emotionless. Peace is the belief that regardless of whatever is going on, I'm going to be okay. I can handle this. You're never going to have a problem-free life. Problems are here for as long as you and I are alive, okay? That does not mean you can't have peace, though. Step 2, learn to identify your actual emotions. This is a super important skill that very few people talk about, especially men. Men like to bullshit and act like they don't have feelings, and real men don't this, and real men don't cry, and real men don't feel that way. Y'all sound stupid as fuck, okay? You're a human being. We all have feelings. When something happens, identify what you're actually feeling. It might be one emotion. It might be several emotions. This will allow you to calm down by simply putting a label to the emotion accurately. If the emotion does not subside even a little bit, that means the label was not accurate. I'll be creating a video series on understanding your emotions as a man at a later date. Okay, stay tuned for that. Step 3, communicate information, not attacks. Let's say you come home from a stressful day at work. Maybe you lost a big deal. Maybe you got chewed out by your boss. Your wife can sense you're upset and ask, what's wrong? Here's what you do. You say, I'm sad, I'm hurt, I'm angry, I'm at a loss for words. Or you say, hey, love, I'm really upset. I just need a few minutes to blow off steam. So when I walk in the door, don't mind me. I just got to figure some shit out. You're not attacking her, you're communicating. And here's what most men do instead. They're upset. It shows in their energy and their attitude, but they say nothing. Now your wife is confused. She gets upset that you're upset, but it's because you didn't communicate why you're feeling what you're feeling. She's upset because she's not able to connect with you, meaning she can't feel how you feel. She sees it, but she's confused and she's scared, really. Okay. Step 4, train her on your protocol. My wife knows when I'm stressed what to do. She knows what my favorite food is. She knows what my favorite activities are. She knows to get me my food, book me a massage, and leave me the fuck alone until I feel better. And once I feel better, because I'm a talkative and communicative person, she knows I'm going to come to find her so we can laugh together about whatever the situation was that I was so upset about. So what changes when you stop expecting her to be your peace and start cultivating your own? You stop blaming her for your stress. You handle your emotions like a grown man instead of projecting them onto her. You communicate clearly instead of expecting her to read your mind. You come home grounded, centered, and calm. Even after a hard day, you stop being moody and unpredictable. You become stable. Now, here's what changes in her behavior when you implement this. She stops walking on eggshells around you. She stops feeling responsible for managing your emotions. She starts seeing you as a rock, someone who can handle anything. That is attractive. She initiates more. She pursues you more. She starts thinking about how to please you because you stopped being an emotional burden and started being a leader. And when her attraction is high, blowjobs aren't rare. They're how she expresses her desire for you. But if you don't do this, if you keep expecting her to be your peace, here's what happens. You'll spend the next 20 years blaming her for your stress. You'll keep coming home irritable, moody, and angry, wondering why she's not more affectionate. You'll keep getting blowjobs 3 to 4 times a year at max while watching other men who aren't as successful as you, get more passion, more respect, more desire from their wives. And you'll never understand why, because you were too busy expecting her to fix what only you can fix. You'll reach 60, 65, 70 and realize you spent your entire marriage at war with yourself and blaming her for it. Look, my guy, if you're tired of blaming her for your lack of peace and you're ready to build it within yourself, click the link in my description to get access to my blueprint, how to bring back sex and intimacy in your marriage fast, okay? Or if you want the opportunity to work with me and my team one-on-one, go to the 30dayfix.net. Just a heads up, my services are not cheap or affordable. I run a luxury boutique service, and I only work with husbands who earn a minimum of $150,000 a year. We're the best at what we do, and we have a 100% success rate. Stop expecting her to be your peace. Build it within yourself first, and watch what happens. One last thing. If this video helps you, there's a husband out there who needs to hear this. You know him. Maybe it's your brother, your friend, your colleague at work, whoever. Send him this link. Don't explain it, just drop it. Let him decide if he's ready. That's how we help more men win. Okay. Till next time, I've been your host, AD the Kingmaker. Peace. Yo, my guy, if you found that video valuable, then you're not done, bro. Keep learning, keep growing, never stop. I want you to click on one of these videos over here. If you're not to the point where you're getting blowjobs weekly from your wife, you're not done. Keep watching. Click one of these. Thank me later.